Welcome to the Practice Minute. This morning we want to talk about the practice of setting margin in our life. We want to slow down intentionally to eliminate hurry from our life so we can appreciate the present moment, the moment that God has for each of us. When we think about setting margin, I'd like you to think about a book. And I found here a Bible, and when I open the Bible, I just want to see that the Bible is not written from edge to the edge. As you see, there's some margin on one side and the bottom and the top and the other one. There are some margins. Now, there are different books that have margin that it's smaller or bigger. But the rule of thumb is that every book that is written, there's margin. And when we talk about margin and the concept of margin, the big question for us is, do we have margin in our life? How is our life scheduled? Is it like from one edge to the other, or we have a little bit of time where we can slow down and we can appreciate the present moment? When you look at your daily calendar, at your activities or at your agenda or daily planner, how are your activities in your day? Do you have some spaces, some gaps between them, or all of them, they are just back-to-back appointments or back-to-back activities? Because if everything is back-to-back, that means that we're going to have to rush and to go through, to speed up through life, and we have to run from place to place. I acknowledge that there are seasons in our life that maybe young families, they're a little bit more busy. And then also there are seasons in our life when maybe we are at the retirement age or, we have less activities. So I know that setting margin, means different things for different people. But even when we are retired, I remember talking with people from our church who said that they are more busy now that they are retired than when they worked, because at least when they worked they had a lunch break, but now they have no lunch break. They just go and work and do activities, right? So I think that this is applicable for all of us. Setting margin, it's something intentional. That means that we need to do this. Naturally, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be a miracle and we're going to have margin in our life, but we have to set margins. There is a saying that when you don't make decisions for yourself, somebody else will make it for you. So when it comes to margins and booking and scheduling things in your day, it's so important for you to keep in mind to have margins. To make sure that you schedule breaks, you leave gaps in your schedule. And then some practical ways. James Bryan Smith, in his books, The Good and Beautiful God and Good and Beautiful Life, he provides some concrete, some hands-on ideas for us how to create margin. For instance, it's waking up 10 minutes earlier. Now, in order to wake up 10 minutes earlier, maybe we have to go to bed the night before 10 minutes earlier, right? So we can wake up 10 minutes earlier. Or cutting down unnecessary entertainment activities. Maybe we don't have to watch seasons and seasons of, Netflix shows and stuff like that, or other things, right? We have to prioritize. Or explore scaling back your commitments. I know that, there are good intentions and there's endless opportunities to serve, to provide, to give back, to volunteer. But maybe you have to look at to say, what is not essential and what can I delegate to somebody else? When we go to a meeting, it would be so important in a practical way to leave 10 minutes early. Why? To leave some space that if we arrive beforehand, we're just gonna have a few minutes where we're just spending there in preparation for the next for the meeting or the appointment or whatever we need to do. Another very practical way is to walk slowly so we can appreciate that we are here and now, and as we're walking we can be in tune, or we can realize that we are not walking alone and God is walking with us, and in our walk that God can speak to us or He can teach us something. So when it comes to setting margin, all of these activities will give us an opportunity to slow down and appreciate the moment. And my prayers for all of us and for each of us that we will be wise enough to make sure that we set margins so we can have time to appreciate the present moment that God has for each of us. Thank you.